All right, we are here with Dominic Jarre. We saw him yesterday do the Twitter panel with Kevin O'Keefe, and now we're just going to talk a little bit about social media. I mean, in terms of your use of social media personally, how long have you been immersed with all these new technologies?
I'd say I'm probably an early adopter. I think I started my blog on Blogger in 2004, or was it 2005? Quite early for a lawyer, at least. And then when I start seeing more people jump into the blogging industry, I sort of phased out and tried to look at other technologies out there. And eventually microblogging came out, and obviously from the conference we gave yesterday, Twitter is the big winner in that market. Even though I started to use microblogging within other platform before that, LinkedIn had a little update and stuff like that, but it was not as shared as Twitter can be. With Twitter, with your profile grows significantly, and as opposed to a blog where it's people who are interested in what you're saying, the topic you're discussing. With Twitter, I find that people just want to create a larger network. So I have a bunch of people that I don't know that operate in totally different industries that start following me, and normally I will follow back. And there's a debate, as we mentioned yesterday, should we follow systematically everyone that follows you? And I have to say, I'm quite pleased with following everyone that follows me, because it opens your mind to new conversation, new type of people, new countries, new everything. And with other tools that we have right now, you're able to search within your network with keywords and see who discuss what topic. And often if they're not part of your network, you wouldn't have access to that information.
Right. So aside from, not just speaking on Twitter, on all these issues, where do you see this taking the law in the immediate and distant future?
Well, one thing that I find is really interesting is how quick these tools can be. So I have seen in Canada a couple of cases coming out on Twitter quicker than on any other website. And obviously quicker than if you're waiting for the paper version of that judgment. So you can get access to information a lot quicker than on normal media, even than blog posts, because blog posts, you need to think it through, you need to type it, review it, post it, etc. Whereas Twitter, it's so short that you just want to get to the bulk of the topic. So if there's an important case that came out about privilege, someone's going to tweet privilege judgment with a hyperlink, and bam, you're done. No need to read the whole case, analyze it, and come up with a blog post. So I see that as being quite useful. Another use for it is marketing, to improve your profile on the web, and even develop relationship either with other lawyers or with potential clients out there. And I've had an experience with a fellow Canadian, Dan Michaluk, who he tweeted something about going through the Canadian privacy laws. And I just replied to him and I said, well, if you need a hand with Quebec privacy law, I'm your man. And bam, it became a mandate. And we started an ongoing relationship together. So now we work jointly on privacy cases across Canada and the U.S. So that all started on Twitter. If it weren't for Twitter, I don't think he would have had the reflex to call me, because he thought I was doing exclusively pure electronic discovery.
Mm-hmm. Now, switching gears a little bit, you write a blog on wines and information management, right?
Yeah, I have to say that it's been a bit slow lately. I started a consulting firm, so I'm investing a lot of time in the corporation itself, and we've created a corporate blog to discuss about information management and electronic discovery. So I still post here and there on wines and information management. But I have to admit it's more of a once per month as opposed to before, where I would post many times per week. I don't have that much time anymore. And as I mentioned, I moved on other platforms like Twitter's for the same type of content.
And are you finding that the response is generally the same on these other platforms as it was, when you were writing the blog? Because that seems like you're kind of drawing in a cross-section there of both, people who are interested in information management and people who like wines. Have you found you're attracting those same audiences to Twitter?
Well, Twitter is less focused, I think, in terms of content. I'll tweet. On my blog, I was focusing, as you mentioned, on information management and wines. With Twitter, I tweeted during different sessions that were totally unrelated either to wine or information management, and it's more what's happening now, what moved me, what is interesting, what I like at that particular moment. So I feel it's much more personal rather than professional or topic oriented than a blog can be. Because to drag people to a blog, you really need to focus on something and have your readers out there. For Twitter, with the number of people that end up following you, you won't be pleasing everyone with each of your posts. And I think that's one of the reasons why you can post about so many different topics. And you're going to enter a new market as you tweet about new topics that you never discussed before that.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Thanks so much for your time today. Much
Pleasure.
appreciated. And good luck with the rest of Tech Show.
Have a good Tech Show, guys.